I'd like to recognize a gentleman from Texas, Mr. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Isaacman, it's my first to be with you. It's good to see you today. My District 14 there in Texas is just south of Johnson Space Center. You know, it is separated by a clear lake. Probably somewhere 7,000 to 8,000 employees that either work for NASA and or its subcontractors that work and live and play in my district. We're glad that you're here, glad you're willing to answer questions. Kind of fascinated by the exchange between you two. We'll follow up on that later.
One of my favorite subjects.
I couldn't tell. So, I appreciate the agency taking a hard look at that workforce structure I'm describing to ensure we're operating as efficiently as possible. I want to focus specifically on how the Workforce Directive is being and going to be implemented within the Flight Operations Directorate, commonly known as FOD. As NASA continues to execute missions like Artemis II, how are y'all, that's a Texas word, how are y'all ensuring that workforce changes do not introduce risk to the mission, execution, or crew safety, and at the same time, we don't want to do a number on those companies that have come to be the suppliers of NASA? I yield to you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the question. I know there's been some, discussion on the subject right now. Simply put, sir, at a high level, 75% of NASA's workforce is contractors, 40 to 45,000. They're not temporary. They've been there for years and decades and will continue to be there for years or decades in the future. Now, some of them may be appropriate for contractors because it's not a core competency. It's not an area that NASA needs to own and maybe clear out some of the barriers, whether it's contractual or IP or system related. And they will continue to be contractors. Some of it is a core competency, sir, and I think it would surprise many that when the astronauts come over the radio and say, Houston, they're talking to a contractor, not a NASA civil servant. They share the same desks. Their badges look almost the same, but we are paying a premium to have them as contractors relative to as a civil servant. And that premium is for workforce flexibility, to be able to do the type of decisions we're talking about right now. We're not breaking glass on this. This feedback all came from the workforce. The leader of this program is a former center director from Stennis Space Flight Center. He's retiring at the end of the year, and he said he wants to do right by the NASA workforce. He's owning this. His name is John Bailey, and he's working with the center directors at JSC, KSC, Marshall, and all of our centers saying, what are your core competencies, who do you need, and do it in a thoughtful way based on the timing of these contracts. And in the process, the workforce is happier, and we're saving some money along the way. But the reason he's doing it, sir, and they're picking is so that these decisions, they know they have to live with long after I'm gone, long after the administration changes over, what's the right thing to do for NASA, and that's what they're working on, sir.
How long will that process take in your estimation?
I'm hoping by the end of the year. I think we certainly don't want this to be a distraction at all. We've got our pilot programs like Mission Control at Houston. We'd like to be civil servants because we will always have a Mission Control in Houston from here until the end of time. I'm sure of that, and we have some pilots at KSC for those who build our rockets and launch our rockets, sir.
So you have guidelines and guardrails to make sure that this takes place, but time frame you would extrapolate out. He's going to be through with all that 6 months, 2 years, 6 years?
Yes, sir. I would hope by the end of 2026 that this workforce conversion initiative we're at a stable place, unless there was some contractual reason why it made sense to do something in 27. But there's no job losses here. This is taking people and changing their badge. It saves the taxpayers some money on the way and does the right thing for the employee.
Will you come back to Congress before those final decisions are made and, fill us in on what your progress is and what the plans are and how close we are to the end of that?
I'm happy to keep Congress posted the whole way. I think we have some pilots that are underway now, Mission Control being an example. But I love over-communicating. I don't want to surprise anybody on this one. I think this is absolutely the right thing for taxpayers, and it's certainly the right thing for NASA, and I'll communicate as much as you need, sir.
Okay, well, if you love over-communicating, that to me, that just means you talk in your sleep. Okay. So as you may...
I got this job, sir.
So as you may already know, many colleges and universities across the country are proud members of the National Space Grant College and Fellowship Project, or a Space Grant, which falls under NASA Office of STEM Engagement. Specifically in my District 14, Lamar University, institutions like Lamar University are part of this esteemed group, helping to prepare the next generation of leaders in the American space enterprise. The budget request proposes eliminating funding for NASA Office of STEM Engagement. Can we fix that, do you think?
Congressman, this question's come up quite a bit, and I know everybody is focusing on a particular department, but I would encourage looking at the outcomes of what we're supposed to be doing. We have grant making at the hundreds of millions of dollars level across NASA right now. That's not going away. We have internship programs measured in the hundreds across NASA's portfolio. That's not going away. And of course, again, inspiration is inherent in every dollar you give us.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.